Greetings on this beautiful Sunday morning. I want to just chat with you a little bit about our class and who I am before we get started this week. You can read about me in the instructor information as well as in my discussion board introduction. But I want to talk to you about who I am. I'm your professor for ministry leadership and staff relations. This is going to be a stimulating and thought-provoking journey as we work together over the next 8 weeks. There are exciting reading assignments, challenging, stimulating, and the discussion board prompts will help us to grow deeper in our understanding of ministry leadership as well as develop a broader perspective. And I hope it challenges you to pray and seek the Lord, and as we search the scriptures to build a biblical foundation for our leadership convictions and staff relationships, that we will grow inwardly in our spirit as well as in our ministry skills. I'm concerned about your own skills, but also how you relate to staff, whether those staff members are paid or they're volunteers. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of Moody Bible Institute, Dallas Theological Seminary, and I received my doctorate at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. One of the lessons my dad and mom taught me is that learning should be a lifelong experience. They taught me that significantly by their own experience. As I was a young teen, they were taking correspondence courses from Moody Bible Institute to enhance their ability to lead well in our little country church. They took classes at the local high school. They were early adopters of the adult education concept. They were farmers in western Illinois. We had a family farm of the 50s that I was raised in. They were the primary couple in planting a church in their community in 1940. We lived 10 miles from the closest town of 3,000 people. For the first year on the farm after they had purchased it in 1939, they traveled back to their church that they had been members of about 15 miles away. They visited some other churches, but they wanted a church where their kids could learn about Jesus with neighbor kids. And so that propelled them to take a monstrous jump long before church planting was ever discussed. My older brother and my sister are graduates of Moody, as well as I am, and my wife and our 3 children and 2 of their spouses graduated from Moody. 2 of our grandchildren, their spouses are graduates of Moody. Another grandson is at Moody Chicago right now, and 2 more of our grandchildren have taken classes from Moody Online. So you can see we have a deep Moody connection. I began my pastoral journey as a 19-year-old student at Moody. When I finished that first year at Moody, a pastor friend asked me to come over after we had completed our family chores. So one evening I went over there, very nervous, 19 years old. And here is a pastor that I significantly admire and had influenced my life. When we got down to what his focus was, he said a little village church had voted the mainline denomination out and they needed a pastor. Would I consider being their pastor? That meant traveling from Chicago on the train about 200 miles on Friday afternoon, doing pastoral ministry Saturday and Sunday, preaching twice on Sunday, catching the train back to Chicago at 2 a.m. on Monday, ready to go for missionary intern work that we volunteered for, as well as classes. Those were busy years. I preached there in August, and they called me to be their pastor in September. That was how I spent my final 2 years at Moody. As I reflect back on some of those early days, I remember my mom saying, "Frank, you can't drive people like you do hogs and cattle." And God put an exclamation point to that comment. I somehow begged my dad, as a 12-year-old kid, to let me raise a weekly ewe lamb that my uncle didn't think would survive. But I raised that lamb and learned so much about leading sheep and leading people through those experiences. A week after graduation, I married Judy, and we celebrated 56 years of marriage in June. We're ministry team partners. We have 3 children. Andrew, our older son, ministers at Moody with the instructional quality team. He has completed his doctoral degree at Illinois State University. He and his wife have 5 biological children and 6 adopted children. Each of their adopted children have significant emotional and psychological needs that resulted from the abuse of alcohol and illegal drugs during pregnancy. Their children are 8 to 30 years old. They live 4 houses from us. We spend quite a bit of time helping with their special needs children. They have 5 married children and 3 grandchildren. Our younger son, Stephen, joined the Army at age 39. Part of his Army responsibility for 3 years was to attend law school at William and Mary School of Law. He did a 3-month deployment in Afghanistan in 2018, and he recently completed a Ironman triathlon. That makes me sleepy just to say it all. He and his wife have 10 biological children ranging in age from 10 to 30. Their 3 older children are married. One of their sons has 4 children, and their daughter has 1. Our youngest is Esther. She is married, and her husband and her live here in Bloomington with near us. He is a corrections officer at a high security facility in Elgin, Illinois. They have 5 children ranging in age from 16 to 22. Their 2 oldest are married. They have 2 grandchildren. If you did the math correctly, that's 3 children, 26 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren, and 1 more on the way. Judy and I have served the Lord in Herman, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Pontiac, Illinois, Glendale, Texas, McHenry, Illinois, and Burlington, Iowa. I have been a solo pastor and a pastor with 15 staff members and volunteer staff of over 150. I've helped more than 30 students complete ministry internships. In 2008, we joined Interim Pastor Ministries. I have served as an intentional interim pastor specialist in Garner, Iowa, Williston, North Dakota, Derby, Vermont, and Minooka, Illinois. My passion in interim ministry is to be very intentional in helping a church and its leadership understand its own culture and that of its community. Based on that information, I help them to discover and clarify why Jesus wants their church to exist in their community in 2020 and the coming decade. I then help them in the pastoral search process to find a leader who will help them achieve their God-given goals. I love to equip people for ministry in the spirit of Ephesians 4:12. Together, we will continue to learn how to better develop a biblically accurate philosophy of ministry leadership and how to impact staff relationships where those staff members are paid or volunteers. Prepare yourself for some hard thinking. I will not guarantee that it will be always comfortable, but it will be rewarding. I already have posted a number of announcements. It is my way of being able to communicate with you. Please be certain to read and or listen to each announcement. Carefully review the 2 MLA formatting announcements. I grade strictly on that. I have had students struggle with certain assignments because they did not watch a video announcement or read a written one. I make announcements both ways. Usually there will be an announcement on Monday and one on Friday. Always feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call at any time. I am eagerly looking forward to learning with you. I welcome former students, a number of you, and as well as students who are new to my leading. God bless you on this Sunday as well as over the next weeks as we learn together. God bless you.